Captain Tom Miller stood rigid in the center of the alien delegation chamber. Sweat beaded on his brow as 6 tall, gray-skinned beings circled around him, their 3-fingered hands gesturing with undisguised contempt. He was humanity's representative, on this first official diplomatic mission to the Vex Confederacy, the dominant power in this sector of the galaxy. So your species survived its nuclear age only to remain fixated on primitive projectile weapons. The lead alien, Commander Drell, spoke through the translator pinned to his iridescent robe, his lipless mouth stretched in what the briefings had identified as their version of a sneer. Tom's hand instinctively moved toward the holstered antique on his hip, his great-grandfather's Colt M1911, a weapon that had seen action in Earth's Second World War. Fleet Admiral Jones had insisted he carry it, claiming that displaying human history would gain respect. The Vex response suggested otherwise. This weapon represents centuries of human innovation. Tom replied carefully, "It's a symbol of our history." The aliens exchanged glances, their massive eyes blinking in unison. Their species had bypassed projectile weapons entirely, moving from bladed implements directly to energy-based technology over 1,000 years. "Huggo." "Quaint," said Drell, extending a 3-fingered hand. "May I examine this historical curiosity?" Protocol demanded cooperation. Tom reluctantly unholstered the pistol, removed the magazine, cleared the chamber, and handed it over. "Careful," he said. "It's over 130 years old." Drell held the weapon awkwardly, turning it in his long fingers. The other Vex diplomats crowded closer, chittering in their native language. Their translator devices picked up fragments. Backward. Technology. Metal projectiles. Primitive chemical propellants. Your species reached the stars carrying such relics? Another alien, Advisor Len asked. We expected more from beings who mastered faster-than-light travel within a mere century of discovering atomic energy. We value our history, Tom said, evenly. That weapon belonged to my ancestor who fought to preserve human freedom. Against other humans, no doubt, Drell said dismissively. Your species' tendency toward self-destructive conflict is well documented. Tom felt his jaw tighten, but maintained his diplomatic composure. Earth's united government had made it abundantly clear. This alliance was non-negotiable for humanity's survival. Drell raised the pistol, pointing it carelessly toward a decorative wall panel. And this trigger mechanism, so rudimentary, a child, could discharge it accidentally. That's why responsible owners practice safety measures, Tom said, growing increasingly uncomfortable. May I have it back now? Drell ignored him, instead passing the weapon to another diplomat. Note the crude, metal construction. Their spacecraft use similar materials, inefficient and vulnerable to radiation damage. The pistol made its way around the circle, each alien adding some derisive comment. Tom's patience waned with each passing moment. These negotiations had already stretched for days, with the Vex demanding increasingly unreasonable concessions from Earth. The final diplomat, Science Minister Vryn, examined the firing mechanism with particular interest. Fascinating how long humans relied on controlled explosions, so dangerous and unpredictable. As Vryn attempted to return the pistol, to Tom his grip slipped. The antique weapon clattered to the polished stone floor. Tom lunged forward. Please, that's a historical artifact. Commander Drell stepped between them, his 7-foot frame towering over the human captain. Control yourself, Earthman. Your attachment to obsolete instruments of death only confirms our concerns about your species' readiness for galactic citizenship. The room fell silent as Tom retrieved his great-grandfather's pistol, checking it for damage. Finding none, he reinserted the magazine but left the chamber empty. Perhaps a demonstration would help you understand, Tom suggested, surprising himself with the boldness. There's a firing range in your military wing, is there not? Where your security forces train. Drell's eyes narrowed. You wish to show us this weapon's function? With your permission, seeing it might help you understand why we preserve such things. After a brief consultation, the aliens agreed. Tom was escorted to a long hall where Vex security personnel practiced with their energy weapons, sleek devices that fired concentrated plasma bolts. A target was arranged at the far end, a simple circular design floating in midair, maintained by some gravity manipulation technology beyond human understanding. The aliens stood well back, their expressions a mixture of condescension and mild curiosity. Tom loaded a single round into the chamber, took aim, and squeezed the trigger. The sound was deafening in the enclosed space, a sharp crack that made the Vex diplomats flinch violently. Several activated personal shield devices in panic. The cough, acrid smell of gunpowder filled the air. Downrange, the floating target spun wildly, clearly struck. Primitive, Drell said after recovering his composure, but I concede effective at short ranges. Tom loaded 5 more rounds. Observe the reliability, he said, firing in rapid succession. Each shot hit the target, the century-old mechanism, working flawlessly. Science Minister Vryn stepped forward, eyes wide with new respect. The chemical reaction velocity is remarkable for such ancient technology. Sometimes, Tom said, holstering the weapon, old solutions remain effective. Humans understand that progress doesn't always mean abandoning what works. Later, as negotiations resumed, Tom noticed a subtle shift. The aliens' dismissive tone had moderated. Their demands became more reasonable. By day's end, the preliminary alliance treaty was signed, terms far more favorable than Earth had dared hope for. As Tom prepared to return to his ship, Commander Drell approached him privately. Your demonstration was educational, the alien admitted. Perhaps we misjudged aspects of human ingenuity. Tom nodded. We've survived as a species by respecting the past while embracing the future. A balance we Vex might have forgotten, Drell said thoughtfully. Your ancient weapon still functions perfectly after more than a century. Some of our energy pistols malfunction after mere decades. Tom smiled. Sometimes the oldest tools prove most reliable. Drell extended his hand, in the human gesture of agreement. We look forward to learning more about your species' unique perspective, Captain Miller. As Tom boarded his shuttle, he patted the antique pistol at his side. His great-grandfather would have appreciated the irony. A weapon of war had just helped secure humanity's peaceful place among the stars.